The retirement party is over, the card's been signed, the cake is gone, and now it's just you and a bigger bank balance than you've ever stared at in one place in your life. And here's what happens next almost every time somebody, a salesperson, a brochure, maybe just that little voice in your own head, leans in and says, "You've earned it." You have, that's true, but I want to talk to you today plainly as someone who spent more than 25 years sitting across the table from people in exactly your seat. Because I've watched good, careful, hard-working folks make 7 particular purchases in the first few years of retirement, and then spend the next decade quietly wishing they hadn't. I'm Ryan Parker. I'm a financial planner, and I want to be honest with you right from the top. None of these 7 things is evil, not one. Plenty of retirees buy every single one of them and never regret a dime. So this isn't a list of never do this. It's a list of ask this first. Because the difference between the couple who loves their choice and the couple who feels trapped by it almost always comes down to one question they either asked or didn't. Stick with me to the end, and I'll give you a simple action plan plus a free retirement cash flow checklist you can download to pressure test any big purchase before you sign. Let's get into it. Number 1, the forever dream home. This is the one that surprises people the most because it doesn't feel like a mistake. It feels like a reward. You've raised the kids, the house is finally empty, and you think, let's build the place we always wanted. Or you move somewhere beautiful, the lake, the mountains, the coast, and you pour a big chunk of your savings into the down payment or the outright purchase. Here's the trap. A house is not a cost you pay once. It's a cost you pay every single month for the rest of your life. Property taxes, insurance, which in a lot of coastal and wildfire states has doubled in just a few years. Maintenance, which for an older or larger home runs a rule of thumb 1 to 4% of the home's value every year. On a $400,000 home, that's potentially $4,000 to $16,000 a year, forever, just to keep the thing standing. And the deeper problem is what you did to your money. You took flexible savings, cash you could have drawn on in any amount any month, and you locked it inside 4 walls. Now, if you need it back, you're selling the house or borrowing against it, neither of which is quick or cheap. The question that would have stopped the regret, can my guaranteed income, my Social Security, and any pension comfortably cover the full carrying cost of this home before I touch my savings? If yes, the dream home can be a wonderful choice. If you need portfolio withdrawals just to keep the lights on, you haven't bought a home. You've bought a monthly obligation that will follow you into your 80s. And one more thing most people miss. Many states offer senior property tax freezes or homestead exemptions once you hit a certain age. Nobody at the closing table is going to mention it. Look it up in your county before you buy. Number 2, the RV or the boat you barely use. I love this dream, honestly, I do. The open road, the water, the freedom, and I've had clients who live in their RV half the year, and it's the best money they ever spent. But here's the pattern I see far more often. You spend $80,000, $100,000, $140,000 on the rig. You use it enthusiastically for 2 summers. Then your knees get cranky, or your spouse doesn't love it as much as you do, or fuel prices spike, and it sits in a storage lot costing you $200 a month to not use. Meanwhile, a boat or RV can lose 30 to 50% of its value in the first few years. So when you finally admit you're done, you sell it for a fraction of what you paid. The regret here isn't the adventure. It's buying the fantasy version of the adventure before you've tested the real one. So the question is, have I rented this exact experience for a few weeks first? Rent the RV. Charter the boat. Do the actual trip. If you come home already planning the next one, wonderful. Now you're buying from experience instead of daydream. If you come home relieved to sleep in your own bed, you just saved yourself $100,000 and a storage bill. Number 3, the vacation timeshare. I'm going to be blunt about this one because I've watched too many people get hurt by it. A timeshare is sold to you on vacation when you're relaxed and happy, and there's a free dinner on the table and a very friendly person explaining how you'll save money on travel for the rest of your life. Here's what they don't put on the slide. The maintenance fees. They rise every year, commonly 4, 5, 6% annually, for as long as you own it, whether you use the place or not. And the resale market is brutal. Many timeshares sell secondhand for $1, not a typo. $1 because people are desperate to escape the fees. You are not buying an asset. You are buying a lifelong bill dressed up as a vacation. The concrete villain here is the presentation itself that 90-minute no-obligation session engineered by people trained to keep you in the room until you sign. The question that saves you is embarrassingly simple. Am I about to sign a contract on the same day I first heard the pitch? If the answer is yes, walk out. Any deal that's real on Tuesday is still real on Friday. And if you already own one you regret, look into whether the developer has a deed-back program before you ever pay a company that promises to get you out. Most of those are the second scam after the first. Number 4, the brand new car traded in every 3 years. This is the quiet one. It doesn't feel like a splurge because you've done it your whole working life. New lease, new payment, trade it in, do it again, and when you had a paycheck absorbing it, maybe it was fine. But a new car loses roughly 20% of its value the moment you drive it off the lot, and around 60% over 5 years. When you were working, you had decades of income ahead to absorb that. In retirement, every dollar of depreciation is coming straight out of a pot that has to last you 30 years. Cycling a new vehicle every 3 years can quietly cost you $8,000, $10,000, $12,000 a year in lost value, money that could have stayed invested and working for you. I'm not telling you to drive a rust bucket. I want you safe and comfortable. But the question is, can I buy a 2-year-old, well-reviewed vehicle and keep it for 8 to 10 years? You let someone else eat that first, steepest drop in value, and you get essentially the same reliability. Do that once or twice across your retirement instead of buying new every 3 years, and you may keep an extra $100,000 in your own accounts. That's not a small saving. That's a couple of years of retirement. Number 5, the big cash out to help the adult kids. Now we're into the tender ground, and I want you to hear me carefully because this is the one I've seen, because the most real pain, financial and personal, both. Your kids are struggling, the house down payment, the business idea, the debt, the divorce, and you have this pot of money, and you love them, so you write the check. $50,000, $100,000, sometimes far more. It comes from a place of deep love, and I would never tell you not to help your family. But here's the mechanism that turns generosity into regret. When you pull a large sum out of a traditional IRA or 401k to gift it, that entire withdrawal counts as taxable income to you in that year. A big one can push you into a higher tax bracket, trigger higher taxes on your Social Security, and, this catches almost everyone by surprise, spike your Medicare premiums 2 years later through something called IRMA, the income-related monthly adjustment amount. So a $100,000 gift can actually cost you $130,000, $140,000 once the tax and Medicare dominoes fall. And the deeper regret is this: you cannot get it back. If your health changes, if you need long-term care that runs $6,000, $8,000 a month, that money is gone. There's an old rule that airlines say for a reason: put your own oxygen mask on first. You cannot be a resource to your children if you become dependent on them. The question: if I give this money and then live another 25 years and need expensive care, am I still fine? If yes, help generously and enjoy watching them thrive. If you're not sure, help smaller. Spread it over years to control the tax hit and protect the base that protects everyone. Let me pause here for a second. If any of these first few are hitting close to home, that free cash flow checklist I mentioned walks you through exactly these carrying cost and withdrawal questions, purchase by purchase. It's there in the description whenever you want it. No pressure. Let's keep going, because the last 2 are the ones the industry least wants you thinking clearly about. Number 6, the whole life policy or annuity that got oversold to you. I need to choose my words carefully because I don't want to trash entire categories of product. Annuities are real, legitimate tools. A simple income annuity that turns a lump sum into a guaranteed monthly check can be exactly right for someone who's worried about outliving their money and wants a private pension. I've recommended them. Whole life insurance has real uses in estate planning for certain families, so the regret isn't the product. The regret is being sold a big, complicated, high-commission version of it when you didn't need it, funded from money you actually needed to keep flexible. Here's the concrete villain, and I want you to see him clearly. Picture the advisor whose entire compensation is a commission of 5, 6, 7% on whatever he sells you. On a $200,000 annuity, that's $10,000 to $14,000 in his pocket, paid the day you sign. Do you think he's neutral about whether you buy it? He's not a villain in a cape. He's a person responding to exactly the incentive he was handed, and that incentive is why complicated high-fee products get pushed on people who'd have been better served by something simple. The tell's to watch for high surrender charges that lock your money up for 7, 10, even 12 years with steep penalties to get out early. Layers of fees you can't easily add up. A pitch built on fear. And the phrase, "This is the only one you'll ever need." The question, can this person show me in writing exactly how they get paid, and can I get a second opinion from a fee-only fiduciary who does not earn a commission on the sale? A fiduciary is legally required to put your interest first, and a fee-only one is paid by you, not by the product. If the salesperson resists that second opinion, you already have your answer. There's no commission in telling you to keep things simple, which is exactly why so few people hear it. Number 7, the premature reverse mortgage. Last one, and it's the most misunderstood on the whole list, so let me define it plainly. A reverse mortgage lets a homeowner 62 or older borrow against their home equity without making monthly payments. The loan, plus interest and fees, comes due when you sell, move out, or pass away. It's not a scam. In fact, used at the right time, it can be a genuinely smart tool. Here's the sophisticated version. Some planners use a reverse mortgage line of credit as a buffer so that in a year, when the stock market drops, you draw from your home instead of selling investments at a loss. That protects you from what we call sequence of returns risk, the danger of taking withdrawals from a shrinking portfolio early in retirement, which can permanently damage how long your money lasts. Done that way, deliberately, it's a fine strategy. So where's the regret? It's the word premature. It's tapping your home equity at 62, early and casually, to fund lifestyle spending. Trips, a boat, helping the kids, when you had decades of other options. Because reverse mortgages carry significant upfront costs and ongoing interest that compounds against you the whole time. The longer the loan is outstanding, the more of your equity it quietly eats. Draw early and spend it on consumption, and by your 80s, right when you might need that equity to fund long-term care or to leave to a spouse, it can be largely gone. The question, am I using this as a deliberate strategy with a plan, or am I reaching for it because I overspent and ran short? If it's a strategy, run it with a fiduciary and understand every cost. If it's a rescue, the reverse mortgage isn't the fix. The spending is what needs to change first. Now, I told you at the top I'd be honest with you, so let me hold to that. Every single one of these 7 can be the right decision. The dream home for the couple whose pension covers it. The RV for the people who live in it joyfully. The annuity for the person who wants a guaranteed floor and buys a simple one. The reverse mortgage used as a deliberate buffer. Regret is a pattern, not a prophecy. What separates the happy buyers from the regretful ones is never the product. It's whether they ran the numbers on their own real cash flow first, their Rörsman, their health, their spouse, their income floor, instead of buying the feeling the salesperson was selling. So here's your action plan. 5 steps. 1. For any big purchase, add up its full carrying cost per year, that, not the sticker price, the yearly bill to own it, and ask whether your guaranteed income alone can cover it. 2. Never sign anything the same day you first hear the pitch. Sleep on every major decision at least a week. 3. Before you pull a large sum from a tax-deferred account, ask your tax preparer what it does to your bracket, your Social Security taxation, and your Medicare premiums 2 years out. 4. On any insurance or investment product, get the compensation in writing and a second opinion from a fee-only fiduciary. 5. Fund the fun from your surplus, the money above your spending floor, never from the core savings that keeps you safe for the next 30 years. Do those 5 things, and you'll never end up on the regret side of this list. Now, I'd genuinely like to hear from you. Drop a comment and tell me, what's the age you retired or plan to retire, and which one of these 7 are you wrestling with right now? I read them, and it helps me know what to cover next. And speaking of next, the biggest, quietest wealth drainer of all didn't make this list because it's not a purchase. It's a mistake in the order you withdraw your money once you're retired. Get that order wrong, and you can hand the IRS tens of thousands you never owed. I'll walk you through the right withdrawal sequence in the next video, so make sure you're subscribed. Until then, spend from strength, ask the question first, and take good care of yourself and the people you love. Figures to verify. Current year. Home maintenance rule of thumb, 1 to 4% of home value annually. Coastal wildfire insurance cost increases in recent years. Senior property tax freeze, homestead exemption availability, varies by state county. RV boat, depreciation, 30-50% in first few years. Storage cost figure, 200 month. Timeshare maintenance fee annual increases, chabanin 6%. Timeshare secondhand 1 resale claim. New car depreciation are 20% off the lot, like 60% over 5 years. Reverse mortgage minimum age, 62. ARMA A, income-related monthly adjustment amount. Mechanism and 2-year look-back. Annuity commission range, 5-7%. Surrender charge periods, 7 to 12 years. Long-term care cost estimate, $6,000, $8,000 a month. Fiduciary, Hansazui, fee-only definitions and legal standard. Word count, choose to 180 words, 1,700 characters. Note, this draft runs slightly under the 2,800 word target. Recommend expanding 1 or 2 items with an additional concrete illustration before recording.